Hey guys, Adam from Southend Dog Training. We're going to pick up with the Biffo story, the terrier mix that come all the way down from France, who are extraordinarily human aggressive. Okay, we've already uploaded part 1 and part 2. I'll put the links down in the description to both of those so you can see where we're at. But basically, in part 1, we demonstrated how a correction can instantly change the way a dog reacts. Yeah, so Biffo's extraordinarily human aggressive. We gave him a correction that matched where he was at. Yeah, he then laid down. He then got a fuss made of him. I walked away, went towards him. He thought about reacting but laid down and got a fuss made of him. Yeah, we showed you, the importance of corrections when dealing with reactive dogs. Part 2, okay, we showed you the e-collar conditioning that we did with Biffo. Yeah, everything about the e-collar, how we introduced it, how we taught him what the e-collar means, the e-collar that we used, how it's nothing like an electric shock, it's more like a TENS machine, and a TENS machine has never hurt anyone ever. It's actually used wildly to help people's muscles relax, and it's very similar to when we use it with dogs. So that was part 2. Now part 3, okay, the bit we're going to show you today, is us putting pressure on Biffo. Yeah, and a lot of people say that you shouldn't put pressure on a dog. If you're putting pressure on a dog, you're kind of forcing them to react. But the reality is we live in the real world where pressure is applied to dogs, whether we like it or not. Things appear from nowhere. People don't always listen to you. Yeah, second you tell someone you've got a reactive dog, yeah, or the dog's nervous, their instant response is to look at the dog, with the one thing that would generally make a nervous dog react. Yeah, so this clip focuses on what we did to actually help Biffo deal with the pressure. Now, pressure is part of life. Yeah, if you're actually going to help a dog come out the other side, you need to add pressure to a dog. So it's important that you do it in the way that we're doing it. Okay, so we actually, when we got a reactive dog, we actually deal with the reactivity first. We understand that the reactivity is coming from a place of anxiety or nervousness or wherever it's coming from. Yeah, but you have to first of all stop the reactivity, because if you just go in with positive reinforcement, decide that you see a supply in this video when Biffo makes the right choices. Yeah, if you just go with positive reinforcement and you don't do anything to stop the reactivity, when pressure is applied to the dog will always revert to reacting. So this part of the segment wasn't done until we actually introduced Biffo to corrections on the e-collar. Yeah, so now Biffo in his mind knows that if he reacts, there's a consequence to him reacting. There's punishment applied for him reacting. Now he knows that, and his reactivity is reduced to an all-time low. Now we can apply pressure to Biffo. Yeah, so Biffo knows he can't react. So when Biffo chooses to do something else because he knows he can't react, then positive reinforcement's applied, thus encouraging him to continue to do that behaviour anytime pressure is applied to him. Yeah, like I said, if you do it the other way around, if you apply pressure first, yeah, and you haven't done anything to correct the reactivity, then the dog will always react when pressure is applied. And this is why a lot of trainers are failing people out there, because they're not putting pressure on the dog and they're not applying any form of punishment to the reactivity. And as I've said it many times, punishment decreases the likelihood of a behaviour repeating itself. Reinforcement encourages the likelihood of a behaviour repeating itself. But just using one without the other, you're going to end up with a fucked up dog. Just using positive reinforcement without doing any form of punishment, you're going to end up with a dog that will always revert back to the behaviour that it knows best when pressure is applied. Okay, and only using punishment without reinforcement, you'll have a dog that will just shut down. Yeah, because it knows it can't react, but it doesn't know what else it's meant to be doing because there's no positive reinforcement being applied. So check out this is part 3 of Biffo. This is us putting pressure on, and this is a vital part of the training. It's boring, it looks boring, but if you're interested in training, if you've got a dog that's reactive, understand that this is actually essential in helping a dog, because pressure exists everywhere. Yeah, people, as much as you try and tell them, you can put I'm nervous, you can put I need space on their fucking harnesses, on their leads, you can do all that. You can tell Deirdre down the road my dog's terrible, but you're still going to have someone go, oh, it's okay, I love dogs, I know dogs, oh, all that. Or you're going to get the people that are suspicious doing, oh, looking at him, not trusting. Yeah, so it's very important that we set Biffo up. Yeah, so I'm doing roles, putting pressure on Biffo, a lot of pressure on Biffo. Yeah, teaching him that there's an alternative way to behave when pressure's applied. So sit back, enjoy, guys.
Open the door. So you see right there.
Yeah.
So that's a major warning, right? So if anything moves, you see how tense he is and how crunched up he is. So if anything sort of moves closer to him when he's like that, you're going to see the aggressive outburst.
Yeah.
But what I want him to do, okay, and I'm going to do the one thing that I want you to advise people not to do.
Yeah.
But as much as you advise them not to do it, they still do it.
Yeah.
And that's stare at the dog.
Yes.
Yeah. So as much as you tell someone don't make eye contact with the dog, ignore the dog, as soon as they know the dog's a little bit reactive, they are watching that dog suspiciously. So what I'm purposely doing is doing the one thing I want you to advise people not to do, and that's stare at him. Because I want him to learn that someone's staring at him, there's a different outcome.
Yeah.
And when he does something a little bit better, see how his head's lowering?
Yeah.
When he does something a little bit better, like looking away or putting his head all the way to the floor, I will go away.
Yeah.
I want to teach him that people staring at you, there's no need to get defensive. Just like that head just to lower, doesn't really know what to do. See, he's tense.
Yeah.
Two minds. Pour down there. Lunge or relax. Lunge or relax. Lunge or relax. Relax. But still not there, because if you look, don't be fooled. Even though his legs are out to the side, he's still staring at me, and his head is still not relaxed. I'll move away now. The reason I moved away that time, did you see his nose?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you see his nose?
Yeah.
So you come up with a different strategy. Instead of staying there nice, all tense, should I lunge? Should I retreat? His nose kicked in.
Yeah.
Curiosity.
Yeah.
So I'm going to reward that by actually moving away from him.
Yeah.
I'm going to break my stare and everything like that. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to open this door. Hello. How you doing, mate? Oh, there's nothing to be scared of. Again, these are all things I advise people not to do, but they're all things people do.
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing to worry about. But, unfortunately, people will do this, you see. But I like the fact that he's actually choosing to retreat instead of fight, which means that a lot of the work we've been doing with that rewarding those calming signals, teaching him there's a better outlook for his behaviour, what it's doing is it's giving him a different out.
Yeah.
So the aggression's still there.
Yeah.
But because we taught him a different way, he also has a different way of behaving now.
Yeah.
He can look away, he can relax, he can retreat. And these are what we're teaching him right now. Staring, hard stare. What's he going to do? He actually looks away. I don't know if you would saw it on the camera, but it was just very, very subtle.
Yeah.
Broke that.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I don't want him to be so tense every time he sees like somebody walking towards him or things. I want him to be able to like look at people moving around.
Yeah.
And so that was good. I was moving. He wasn't even looking at me then. Yeah. But I want him to learn to go a little bit more relaxed if somebody walks towards you.
Yeah.
Right there. What do I do? Good boy.
Good boy.
Good boy. And looked away straight away.
Yeah.
So I will go away. Again,
Yeah.
dogs have this habit. When pressure's put on them,
Yeah.
they have defence mechanisms. Yeah? His defence mechanism is biting.
Yeah.
Yeah? And I know because I've got a scar on my leg. Yeah? But if it works for them, they'll continue to do that.
Yeah.
The e-collar, for correcting those aggressive outbursts, will make him think twice before ever doing that.
Yeah.
But we have to do something else to help him. We have to show him that looking away, making good decisions, actually makes those things go away. Aggression never makes anything go away. That's what he needs to learn. Relaxing, that person will actually take pressure off of me. See, that now he's not even looking.
Yeah.
I move so he looks,
Yeah.
but he's able to break his focus a little bit more.
Yeah.
But what I want him to learn is if someone's looking at me, even if it's a suspicious look or just making eye contact with me, I don't need to worry. If I just relax,
Yeah.
that goes away. Yeah, so I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing the one thing that I advise people not to do,
Yeah.
but it's the one thing that people will often do, and it triggers the reaction. Unfortunately, people are very predictable. You tell them not to go and touch the dog, they want to touch the dog. Yeah, you tell them not to look at the dog, the first thing they want to do is look at the dog. But you see how he's now able to look around and make better decisions. He's not as tense. Look, there you go, perfect. You see how now he's actually, well, what's that? Because we put some pressure on him, yeah? I don't know what that growl was about. You might have just heard a dog or something.
Yeah. Saw his reflection in the bin.
Possibly. But of course, because that growl's come in, he's gone back to his little default way of eating.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Okay, good boy.
Yeah. But again, you saw, look, there we go. So little brave little things. Yeah. So tomorrow, what we want to try to achieve, is tomorrow we're going to stick a muzzle on him because he will bite. He's not afraid to bite, and he packs a fucking punch. Trust me, I know. My wife mocks me. She's like, this dog, this is because I've worked with over 1,000 dogs, and I can count on one hand how many dogs have bit me, which isn't bad going considering we work with some of the worst case dogs, some dogs that have been able to be put to sleep. So we work with a lot of messed up dogs, and that's not bad going. But of all the bites, he's the one that hurt the most. He's the one that I can still feel 4 months on.
Terriers pack a punch.
Yeah. So tomorrow we'll be muzzling him.
Yeah.
But the idea is right now we've got a bit of a controlled setting going on. But in reality, we want him to be able to move freely and not be so on edge every time someone moves or go to defence mechanism. So we'll have a muzzle on him tomorrow. Yeah. So we can obviously move freely and things. And if he reacts, we'll use the e-collar to correct him. He's been conditioned to it the last 3 days, 2 days, 3 days, 3 days you've been conditioning to the e-collar. Look at that, that's perfect.
Good boy, Biffo.
Yeah, so the last 3 days you've been conditioning him to the e-collar.
Yeah.
So he knows what that means and everything. So now we can actually use it for corrections if he does something. Yeah, this is perfect because when that nose kicks in, the dog's more relaxed.
Yeah.
So you have to add a little bit of pressure to the dog, make him a little bit more stressed add a bit more stress to him for them to come out the other side. Yeah? If I never put any stress on him, how's he going to learn to cope when stress is put on him in the real world? Yeah, look, a lot more inquisitive. Still jumpy, but again, that will come over time. But what I don't want is when he gets jumpy to have these aggressive outbursts. But look, much more acquisitive, so that's not bad. Thinking about it. And just call him to you.
Biffo, come.
That's it, and just make a little fuss of him.
Good boy.
There you go.
He's a
That's
good
it.
boy.
Beautiful.